Hello, this video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. What we're showing you in this video is the new format for HBO Max. HBO Max has a newly updated app. It's essentially a new app. In order to make sure that you've got it on your streaming device, you want to make sure that you have the latest version. On the Roku here, just select HBO Max and press the star button. And what it does is it pulls up this menu and you say check for updates. Now you can do the same thing with your apps by going into settings and just looking for a Roku update. It's essentially the same thing. It's just a way to do it without having to go deeper into the settings. So once you've made sure that you've got the up-to-date app, we're going to go ahead and launch it. And what they've done, you'll see, is they've reformatted the app so that it looks better on a big screen. They're taking advantage of the fact that most people have 50-inch TVs or more, and you'll see what I'm talking about when it launches. See, it takes up the whole screen. There's no more carousel style up there. Now, it still has a carousel. You'll see that it has 4 choices that sort of rotate through. But instead of having smaller little patches of programming, advertising things, it has this. In the rows, it's a lot the same as it was as far as the home screen. You've got your continue watching section. For you, it's going to be based on things that you seem to be interested in. And my list, which of course is your own personal queue. They help you find out what's brand spanking new on there on the just added section, and so on down the line. There's still selections from across their different media as far as HBO, TNT, and so on. But what they've done is they've changed the way the basic menus actually look. So when you jump into something like movies or a TV series, you'll see a difference in the way that you search for things. As we jump into the movie menu, you'll see the top of the selections has the, again, full screen look. But below, you have this simple listing so that you can flip through all of the different settings or the different genres and types of movies available. Just for the heck of it, I'm just clicking on kids because, HBO is not really known for its kids programming. There are a couple of things out there. The hubs have gotten a similar update. And how different it looks depends on pretty much how much content is there to work with. But something like here with DC, it still has the breakout sections for Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman because those are the, they call that the Trinity of the DC world. But it has a way to just bounce through. You can select specific characters or go A to Z and look through everything. Looks like the Dark Knight series is now completely back on HBO Max. A week or so ago, I think one or two of the movies was not on the service, so you can get your Christopher Nolan on. But this is just a little bit easier approach to things. Now we want to make a note. There's a Max Originals hub, and if you've never really paid attention, HBO Max is it's totally related to HBO and yet kind of its own thing in that HBO Max has its own exclusive programming that is not part of, it's not going to come on HBO on Sunday night at 9 or something like that. Of course, all you HBO subscribers have access to HBO Max, so it's not like it's an either or for you. But what they do here is they make sure that their HBO Max originals are in their own section so that you don't have to cycle through everything that's on HBO to find what's new on HBO Max. And that's pretty helpful. HBO, on the other hand, is, as far as the HBO hub in HBO Max, is where you'll find all of HBO's originals. That's everything from something that came out just this month to their older documentary series and things like that from over the years. It's all there. It's just broken down the same way. So you have your different genres within HBO, and you can bounce through and see what you want, whether it's a movie, which can be anything from a blockbuster movie to an HBO original, to everything else they've got, their stand-up comedy and so on. Now, on the other hand, you're looking at Studio Ghibli here. You notice there is not a special menu for Studio Ghibli. Why is that? Probably because it only has about 5 rows of content. It's a very popular library, but it isn't a large one. So that stuff is just right there, one screen. Because if you broke it down into subcategories, you'd be like, yeah, these 2 movies, those 2 movies. Sesame Street Workshop, which HBO does not fully own, is a little different as well. You see, it has an A to Z listing, but again, there isn't a whole ton of content from Sesame Street Workshop. So you should expect to see that with anything on HBO Max that is not an extensive library, while something like Turner Classic Movies, on the other hand, is gigantic. Now, we want to jump into Discovery Plus because I think we're seeing some corporate synergy here. As if you've been following the news, you'll know that Discovery Networks is actually buying Warner Media from AT&T. And so I think maybe the app upgrade or update that you're seeing with HBO Max might be a way to kind of line up branding so that it matches. Not everything on Discovery Plus looks like the HBO Max app, but if you go into the Browse section of Discovery Plus, we'll show you what we're talking about. Say A to Z, Adventure Exploration. So they have their A to Z and then the little subgenres that break everything down. And this looks to me almost exactly like the HBO Max. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Discovery Plus change their app look a little bit so that it looks more like HBO Max. The story right now is that eventually these 2 services are actually going to be combined. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now, they're 2 separate apps. They're going to look a lot more the same. And honestly, I think that the new look for HBO Max is easier to use. Their executives had talked about changing up the look recently before even the big talk about the mergers happened. So I hope you found that helpful. I think it's a pretty cool update. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, share this video with your friends, and as always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friends.